appears I have once again picked the absolute finest weather in which to repair a vehicle. Hi, I'm Fox. Welcome back to Fox Can Fix It Garage, Alberta Clipper Edition. If you're new to the channel, this is my 1996 F-150 four-wheel drive. If you're not new to the channel, this is still my 1996 F-150 four-wheel drive. And I have been trying to chase down a shake or vibration that I think is coming from the left front between 60 and 65 miles an hour. I don't know what that is in kilometers, somewhere around 100. Take that, metric system. Now, before this issue started, this truck had been sitting for 10 years, and I have already replaced the radius arm bushings, the shocks, the springs, the brake calipers, and the wheel bearings. The steering seems tight, the ball joints are fine. I'm not really sure what it is, and it seems to be left front, and you hit 60, 65, and the steering wheel just does this number. Not quite a death wobble, and I have checked ball joints, I have checked tie rod ends, I have checked pitman arm, I have checked steering box, I have checked the frame near the steering box, I have checked the frame near everything. I drove it last night. When the issue happened, I threw the truck in neutral. The issue is still there, which rules out pretty much anything from this back. And I think it's left front, so that's where we're going to start. I'm going to go ahead and just take a look at the wheel bearing. Maybe an aftermarket part could be bad. That never happens these days. I wonder if this is what working on cars in like the French or the Swiss Alps feels like. Also, I wonder, in the French Alps, is this a Jacques and a Jacques stand? I don't know. That reminds me, I'm still only running 4 lug nuts on this. I should get a 5th. I don't think that's going to cause a vibration, otherwise it'd be all the way around because there's only 4 lug nuts on all the wheels. It's definitely coming from the left front. Like I said, new spring, new shock, new brake hose, new caliper, new manual locking hub, new radius arm bushing, new radius arm bracket for that matter. And yes, that's tight. It has to be this, or since I didn't replace the rotor, maybe it spun a race. That's also a possibility, he said, hopefully. There are 6 Allen head screws in this manual hub. We'll pop that off, and then there's a series of snap rings, and then we can start disassembling this whole thing. And we'll also have to take the brake caliper off, but not the caliper bracket. That should be 12 millimeter bolts. And in case you're curious, this is a size, I don't even know. So you're going to have to remain curious. It's an Allen head. That's all you need to know. We got that manual hub cap off, and as you can see, the hub itself is not stuck. So that's not the issue. We're going to have to keep digging. Next step is there's a snap ring right here, and there's also a snap ring right in a groove just inside this hub. And that's going to take a pick and a small screwdriver to sort of peel it out in a way. You can't even see it. If you don't have snap ring pliers, you can probably do it with a pick and a screwdriver. But I have snap ring pliers, so I did it with snap ring pliers. Now this other one, it's usually a pain to get out of here. If you've got a better way to get this one out of here, please let me know in the comments, because the only way I know is like pick and screwdriver and sort of pry it out. Oh, come on now. Play nice. I just got snow in my ear hole. It's great. It's great. Everything's fine. Here's that other snap ring. It's really just almost like a round piston ring with a massive gap, I guess. That's too much gap, even for boost. How would I know? I don't have anything boosted. All right, now to get this hub assembly out, I'm going to take 2 of the screws we already pulled out, thread them in, and just sort of like pulling out a camshaft. You just need something to grab onto. Ta-da. There's one. Actually, there's yeah. There you go, spacers, washers, things with splines. Now next up is this threaded nut, but it's not a regular nut. It just has 4 slots in it. There's one of them up top right there. So it's a special socket. See how it has the 4 teeth on the end of it? Yeah, that goes right into that nut. Oh my goodness. There it is. There's the slots, there's the threads, there's the nut in general. The only nut out here is me in the snow. All right. right there. There's the next washer. And then another nut. I can spin this by hand. This one is too loose and the other one is too tight. Fantastic. Okay, I think I'm beginning to see a pattern of issues here. All right, this inner nut, or whatever you want to call it, see how it has this little nib on it, or detent? That goes into any one of these holes. It doesn't really matter. And that keeps the outer nut that you tighten down from tightening this nut. It just spins on here. So once you get your proper tension on the inner nut, the outer nut, you can tighten more and it holds it all together. Now we're down to just the bearings, which means I've got to take this caliper off. Now would also be a good time, since you're doing this, go ahead and make sure your slide pins aren't bent. Bent slide pins could probably also cause a vibration or shake at certain speeds, I imagine. Alrighty. Pads look good. We'll re-grease the slides when we do it. Should be able to pull this rotor off now. Yep. Okay. There we go. Don't see anything bad here on the spindle. I guess we'll get that inner bearing out and see what that looks like. We'll flip this over and we'll beat on it. I plan on replacing this bearing anyway, so it doesn't really matter, but you should not hammer bearings to get them out. That's bad. There we go. Inner bearing. All right, inner bearing is out. It is also Timken, made in USA, and it is also very, very dry. Maybe I never repacked this side. At this point, these bearings have been hot. You can see there's yellow and black. There's heat that's been in this bearing. So if I never did repack these, well, now I'm going to replace these because these are probably ruined from heat. Now, I don't know how well this is going to come across on camera, but when I turn this, you can see vertical lines inside here. This thing sat for like 10 years. So I think that's a big part of the problem, is that we've got a bad bearing race as well. Yeah, there's some right there too. Okay, let's replace this inner race while we do the bearing. Right down in there is the back side of the inner race. This is the outer race. We'll flip it over to get that one. We should just be able to use a punch and a hammer and knock that out the bottom. There you go. See, yeah, not too difficult. Kind of gotta be careful on this end because we don't want to mess up the splines on the hub or anything like that. But it should still come out fairly easily. He said, having only done this a couple times. Got there. There you go. Race is out, Dan. That's also Timken. These are probably original and not very well greased. Okay, well, my bad. Here is our new inner race. As you can see, it's new and it's an inner race. That's gonna go in here, and we have to tap that carefully down into place with, well, with the old race. That should work. And maybe a 2x4, or 4x6, or 4x8, whatever you got, really. That should work. Almost. All right. I think we're fully seated. Now, the outer. Oh, first guess, really? Okay, sure. We'll take that. That's how you do that. You just need big sockets. This one is a 50. First up, we need to grease this inner bearing because then we got to put the seal on. And luckily, of course, this is the exact same seal as this one. You can tell by how they look, the exact same. So I'm going to be reusing this old seal, which seems like a perfectly fine idea. Wasn't leaking before. There's no way it's bad now. like that. You should not reuse seals, which is why I'm reusing this seal. I didn't damage it taking it off. We actually knocked the bearing out this way, and this is still completely serviceable. It's still kind of softish, so we're gonna go for it. Right now I don't have another seal and I need to use this truck. There we go. Now that is completely packed and it is whole. You know, when I told myself I wanted to go out and play in the snow today, this is not what I had in mind. There we go. All right, this is gonna go back on in the same order. This is gonna be that inner spindle nut, the one that has the detent on it. That goes on first, and the detent faces out. Don't face it in. It's not gonna work right. It's not gonna go together, and you're gonna take it back apart. This little detent, nib, whatever you wanna call it, has to face outward. Now this is the one that you want to get snug to seat these bearings and then back it off like maybe a quarter turn, eighth of a turn, something like that. And then I'm gonna go and back it off. Not quite a quarter turn. Next is this little spacer with all the holes where the detent from the nut we just put in goes in one of these holes, but also this lines up with a big slot on top of the spindle. So really, now it's a matter of, can we get the hole lined up with the detent? And we may have to actually turn that nut one way or the other to get the detent to go into one of these holes, because this can only go on one way because it's got that has to go onto the spindle. I don't know how well you can see this, but there you go. That detent is in that hole right there. Now I can put the outer nut on. Outer nut is back on, and I just put on the manual hub assembly. Here is your inner snap ring. The outer snap ring is also back in, although again, you can't see it. I just have to put the manual hub on, put the brake caliper back on, put the tire back on, and then we'll call it good. If you need to re-grease your slide bolts, you should do that now. These seem fine. I'm not going to. Main reason I'm not going to is it's cold and snowing on me. It's a winter storm warning, and I'm getting snow literally in my ear canal every time I turn my head to see what I'm doing. This should fix our problem. I don't see why it wouldn't. We had damaged bearing races, we had dry bearings, and again, that's all my fault. I had remembered packing both sides, and there's no way that I had this one apart and repacked it. I had to have only done the passenger side, so that's all right. Everybody makes mistakes. This one, at least I was able to track down and discover what I had done wrong, or what I had not done, which then went wrong, I guess would be more proper to say. All right, everybody, that's gonna do it for this time. I tracked down a noise to what I thought was inner or outer wheel bearing. Vibration at a very specific speed, very localized to the left front in this case. Took it apart and discovered that while I thought I had repacked and checked this bearing when I bought the truck, I had not. And actually, this is a very important point with project cars. If you don't know the condition of something, or you think you know the condition of something, you don't know it unless you verified it. And this is the perfect example. All right, everybody, well, I'm gonna go make snowmen, maybe some donuts. We'll see you next time.